best things of being independent
I can go on the bus on my own.
is having a season ticket for Sunderland,
Cleaning. I like watching all the soaps.
having a boyfriend called Paddy,
I'm a lion. I can go out with friends now.
and doing my own food shopping.
I can do my own thing now.
Are you thinking about moving out of your family home into supported living? These days, more people with learning disabilities are deciding where they want to live. I'm an advocate for people with learning disabilities in Gateshead, so I've had the chance to learn from people's experiences about what works and when problems might arise. Sometimes there's time to plan, sometimes things might happen more quickly. People and their carers may be getting older or might have health problems, or sometimes things happen that mean people have to move at short notice. Let's meet 3 people who've had different experiences. Each has chosen a different type of accommodation and has different levels of support. They'd like to tell you about what supported living can be like and why they think it's important that people and their families plan for the future. Victoria moved out of home because she wanted to be more independent. Her family supported her with planning her future. Now Victoria has her own bungalow on the keyring scheme. She has support from a volunteer who lives nearby and from support workers who visit at agreed times. This is her story.
It'll be 3 years in October, but I've learnt a lot about how to budget, because that's what you've got to do, and you've got to go to the right type of shops for the right type of things, for like cleaning and things like that. I think it's better for me to make my own decisions and whatnot. My dad will say to us, Victoria, are you doing all right? And he'll say, he knows where I'm going. I had to write a timetable down where I was going and whatnot. He'll say, all right, you're at Leighton Banks, your women's group, and you go to the Wesleyan. I have a lot more time now because I'm a volunteer for the community links. I'm ready for a cup of tea. John, you're going round the block.
Going round the block. I'm just getting names together now.
My name is Victoria and my friends are Alan and John. We are going on a short walk. Be careful when you're crossing the roads and look for any hazards while you're walking. Watch a step. If you leave the walk, please let somebody know. Hope you enjoyed the walk this morning. Nice to get out and about and looking in people's gardens. Everything seems to be going all right. It's important to me about I can go wherever I need to, and I tell me dad and I'll ring him up at the team. And Dad, I'm away along Leighton Banks. He says, right, you got your taxi booked? Oh, yes. Paddy's my boyfriend. Paddy lives in Newcastle. I go down to Paddy's on a Friday night and I stay there till Monday till I go to Leighton Banks. Yes. The first year was a bit funny because I've never lived in a place by myself before, and we had before the fencing went up and there used to be kids floating around. I was a bit nervous. But I told my support worker, Elaine, he had to tell somebody at the housing office, and we got that sorted out. And I got my decorating done last year. That was the most important thing I got done. B&Q, I got my wallpaper art. Before I came here, I lived at Bensham. It was my dad's idea. It was getting hard for me dad, and it was getting hard for me. My dad wanted us to live independently. And then once I moved down here, I was a lot happier. He used to come in and say yes and whatnot, and he'll say, oh, Victoria, you've done extremely well. But it was a big decision. I had to bid for houses, and we had to go to a meeting first at the Civic Centre. I had to listen, and they would explain how it was. I had to find out how to live independently. I didn't have a credit card. I didn't know how to pay bills. But I do now, and I call my rent card Christine because it's the lady that works in Leam Lane Housing Office. And they said, Victoria, as long as you know what's what, and then you just go down, you pay your bills, and I have a budget form. Lee Hardy's from the keyring. He comes in once a week to make sure I've paid me bills and make sure everything's all right. He helps us to go down to the Lyndhurst. I've got to enroll in September and see what courses I want to do. We had to have a review every couple of years to see how things were going on. I think it was every 2 years or every year. And I was the quickest learner for the keyring. I've got to learn how to cook and that sort of thing. That's my main thing now, only that I want to learn how to cook and make meals and whatnot for me and Paddy and whatnot. Now, I can make pasta and I can make scrambled eggs on toast. I would like to stay living here and able to learn to cook a few more meals and whatnot, because my dad and Nan said, Victoria, the day we have a tea at your house, I said, Dad, I'm going to learn how to cook. He says, right.
Jackie had to move because she was having problems with the stairs and because her sister was finding it more difficult to care for her. It was time to have meetings and to plan supported living for Jackie. Now she shares a house with 3 other people and has 24-hour support. This is her story told with another sister, Leslie.
Jackie lives here and she lives downstairs. There is 3 men who live here as well, and their rooms are all upstairs. The reason obviously Jackie's downstairs is because she's frightened of stairs. So she's in an ideal situation where she can have free run to go make herself a cup of tea whenever she wants, and all have evening meal together, sit and watch telly. Sometimes Jackie will watch telly with them on the big telly. Sometimes you can visit and she'll be in her bedroom as the lads will. So they really do just live independently. Everybody can do what they want when they want. Everyone has one-to-one key workers. The rest of the week, Jackie goes to Marcus Way 3 days a week. Do you want to go down that way? Val always visits on a Sunday. And we just like to obviously ring up before we visit Jackie. We don't feel that it's right just to sort of say I'm just dropping in for 5 minutes, because like everybody else, she's got that privacy where it's just nice to ring up. Before Jackie moved here, as she's explained, she lived with our older sister and her husband. Jackie did have a fall previous a few years ago, but last year she had this one and came right from the top to the bottom of the stairs, and she was in hospital for a good while, weren't you?
I had a bell in my head.
The situation was Jackie couldn't get up the stairs by herself. She had to have someone behind her. She was really frightened to go up and down the stairs. She couldn't be left alone, and really it was a health and safety risk, Valerie standing behind her, because obviously if Jackie fell, then obviously the consequences don't bear thinking about. So the family made a conscious decision that this was the best opportunity for Jackie. You know, she's been asking to live on her own, and we thought, use this, not opportunity, but we just thought, we can't go on like this much longer. You know, let's find out what can be done. Which we did, didn't we? We got your social worker, and it just sort of snowballed from there. I think it took no more than 6 months. Within 6 months, fortunately, Jackie was offered this place and fell in love with it and made the decision herself that this was what she wanted, and that was Jackie's decision. Worries were, was she going to like it, you know, like could she manage on her own, and you know, because she'd lived with support for such a long time, and we just all sat down together and said, this is an opportunity that we can't give up. We've got to go ahead and see what happens, and everybody just worked together as a team. From my perspective, Jackie, she sort of opened up again because she wasn't frightened to go out. There was no stairs to worry about. She knew she had total support from the staff here, and she knew she still had her family around her when she needed her, or when you do need us, you know that, don't you? Just a phone call away. My advice would be to listen to what the person wants and to help them and guide them, and just remember it's what they're asking for and not what we think is best for them, and that we have to understand that everyone is entitled to independent living.
Anne had to move out of home when her mum became ill. The only option available at the time was a care home. Now Anne shares a home with Michelle and her family. This is her story.
This is my room. I could go up my bedroom, watch my telly. I'll turn it over, but I like watching all the soaps and put my music on. I've changed a lot since I moved here. I live with a family now, I don't live in a home.
She can go out when she wants, she's got a whole group of friends. She's always at parties and meals and just wherever. She's never arranged. She's got a better social life than what I've got. So, and it's seeing her become more confident. And I know that I don't want to like blow my own trumpet, but we've encouraged that to happen.
I can go on the bus on my own, travel on my own. Sometimes I can go to South Shields or Hexham. I can go out with friends now. I can go to the Centre or Newcastle. Because I've got a friend in, she's in a bungalow staying in there. So he invited me to go with him for a meal. Because it was one of the girls' birthday. I like shopping, yes. Oh yeah, sometimes clothes. I like buying clothes. CDs and DVDs.
She'll phone us up, let her know where she is, if she's going to be late and whatever, and it's just good communication.
That's Peter and myself, and it's Michelle's brother. All I like to do is take photographs. That's taking it to the centre where they're doing the karate. I like taking photos of people and animals as well, animals. Oh, there's Brooke, the dog. Well, this one's been taken with one of the waiters. I went to Turkey. It was lovely. Went on boat trips and seen shows on the night time. It was nice. Enjoyed it. Well, at first I had to go into a home. And my mum went into a home because she had dementia. I couldn't look after her. They're not very nice in homes. You couldn't speak to anybody. Nobody, and was stuck in the same seat all the time. And I couldn't go to visit my mum when she was in the home because it was a bath night. If you wanted to go out, you would have to do it on a weekend, and it had to be in the afternoon, not night time. I was unhappy there. I used to rip the sheets in the bedroom, all the sheets. And I threw myself down the stairs because I was unhappy there. I didn't like being there. I wanted to get out. Anne worked there, and then she got me out of there to live with her. And then from there I came to live with her, with Michelle and Derek and Ryan, the son.
The relationship with Anne started through my mum being a carer at first. What happened was my mum had Anne and another lady living with her, and then my mum took bad. It meant either Anne or the other lady going back into care. Because Anne had been part of the family for such a long time, we all decided it was for Anne's best interest if she stayed with us, which she agreed to. She wanted to come and live with us. So we sold our house, bought a bigger house to accommodate Anne, and it all just went from there. We fell into it accidentally. It was just circumstantial that we didn't want her to go back into care. It took a while to adapt to it because even though you think you know somebody, when you're actually living with them and it's all new to you, you do find things that you were unaware of. But as time goes on, you get used to people's ways, and obviously Anne had to get used to our ways that she had never lived with us before, so we were all just learning to live together. Since Shared Lives has been up and running in Gateshead, it has been a lot easier. You've got support at the end of the phone that always get back to you. Any problems you can share, you've got somebody to share them with, you know.
I do my own room out. Sometimes I do the dishes.
I think the benefits in our case for Anne is obviously knowing her past. She was very suppressed. She wouldn't speak. The first year that she lived with my mother, all you got out of Anne was yes, no thank you, yes please. She wouldn't speak. Very quiet, very timid. I mean, now it's basically a case of, Anne, can you please be quiet, you know, just for a little while.
I can do my own thing now.
You do get a satisfaction from it because, like I say, you're helping somebody change their life for the better. There is a lot of people who are not very well tread out there, and to see somebody change into a more confident, outgoing person, and it's part of what you've done to help them get that way, so it is very rewarding.
Thank you for listening to Anne, Jackie and Victoria. We all tend to find that planning for the future isn't always easy. If we plan as soon as we can find out more about options and support that may be available. If we put it off, we may have to plan when things become difficult or in an emergency. If you want to find out more about housing options, look out for this leaflet.